Here's a little something I want you to try. Something that I think could help out some of your magical practices that you're working on. Something that maybe a little trick that no one ever told you about that you're going to find really useful. You see, when it comes to chanting or singing the runes or intoning mantra, other magical formula, there's something that new and experienced people alike kind of forget about. It's something so simple that we tend not to think about it, that we get so caught up in how our hands are moving, where we're standing, what words we need to be saying, we forget about this one simple thing that we need to do before all of that. And this one simple thing is something that's going to supercharge your sigils, your rune songs, other forms of chanting. Guess what it is? It's proper breathing. You see, you probably just did it. You probably scoffed at the notion of a proper breath. How can that be important to the ritual chamber? How can that be important to my magical practice? Because, I've already done this breathing, and a lot of people already know how to breathe. But right now, you can be different. I'm going to teach you a simple way that you can be ahead of all your other peers, and something that you could teach them to help them out in their magical practices. And this really isn't just me blowing smoke up your butt. This is something I've learned over and over and over again so many times. And truthfully, it's not just one breath, it's three. It's called the Ond breath. You see, in the Norse tradition, there's a name for this sacred breath. It's called Ond, like I just said. This is a gift given to humanity by Odin when humans were first created by Odin and his brothers, Holnir and Lothar. At the surface, Ond does mean breath, but it can also mean soul in the Old Norse. This is very similar to the Latin word of spirit that we find in words like aspiration and aspire, also referring to breath. Now, I tend to think of the Ond as the magnetic body, that this is the part of your own subtle being that can draw energy into it. And the lore has a special word for this kind of energy. It's like the chi, the prana, the ki that we find in the Eastern traditions, but the Norse lore calls it lao. Again, this is a weird word. It means like a strand of water, that sort of thing. Of blood is a mixture for that, but we also know in the metaphorical sense that blood and energy are synonymous, are good metaphors in the magical tradition. And so this is my understanding, is that the Ond is a part of the subtle body that breathes in lao, giving it life, giving it vitality, the energy that it needs. And so I want to teach you three quick, simple breaths that you could use to activate your Ond, to bring in this lao, so that you can use it to supercharge your galdring, to supercharge your mantra, to really bring power to your intoning and your chanting. Again, three breaths. The first one is all about relaxing, bringing your inner focus internally, about becoming centered, grounded, here in the moment. That's all it is, just one breath to bring yourself centered, focused right here, right now. The second breath, you imagine that you're clearing space inside your body, inside your being, like you're in the gut, in your belly. You're making it wide open. You're clearing out all of the energy out there so that you have this void, you have this vacuum space within this breath. You just clear this space right in the middle of you. Then the third breath, you reach out with your awareness to your own understanding of what is sacred, into the sacred realms, and you breathe that sacred energy into your body, into your being, through your head, down your throat, through your chest, right into that void that you created. So it's just... And as you feel yourself filled with this lao, then you express it through sound, through motion, with intent and fury. And then this is what supercharges your practice. And this is all it really is just setting and focusing, opening and clearing, connecting and drawing in. Then you can go, Agis, oh. And if you really want to, you can do this third breath over and over and over again. So it's like third breath A, third breath B, third breath C. You could really bring in that connecting and drawing in breath multiple times so that you're extra full of this lao, ready to sing, ready to intone, and ready to really supercharge any of your magical workings, because now you're centered, you're open, and you're full of a very powerful energy simply by using proper breath. Hail.